Relief for Emmanuel Macron. Victorious in Sunday's vote, the incumbent French president becomes the first in 20 years to win a second term, fending off a far-right challenge from his familiar rival, Marine Le Pen.
Sincèrement, cette France.
She conceded to Macron not long after the polls closed.
Et c'est Emmanuel Macron qui...
Early polls project Macron edged to victory with 58.2% of the vote to Le Pen's 41.8%, making it a closer race than their runoff 5 years ago. Macron went into their rematch the frontrunner, but key to the battle for ballots was France's left-wing voters, whose candidate scored nearly 22% of the vote in the first round, just losing out on the second. The leftist leader had called on his backers to vote against the far right without directly endorsing Macron. Many people who voted for Macron said they did only to keep Le Pen out. That's if they voted at all. With a little enthusiasm for the alternative, a blank ballot was the obvious choice for some.
For the first time in my life, I will make a no-choice vote.
Merci, chers amis.
Macron rose to power as a new face. His first term was rocked by the yellow vest protests opposing his policies, a pandemic, and now the war in Ukraine, in which France has been an unwavering member of the coalition against Russia. The anti-immigration, anti-European Le Pen, known for far-right stances like banning Muslims from wearing headscarves in public, had rebranded herself by campaigning on bread-and-butter issues. Despite her defeat, her movement came closer to power in France than before.
When Macron came on the scene in 2017, it was just in the wake of the Trump election and Brexit, and there was a big sigh of relief in many quarters among sort of promoters of liberal democracy that this was one victory that suggested maybe the tide was turning away from populist nationalism, and it didn't.
This professor of modern European history says the vote has broad implications.
It goes to show that this is a kind of key presence on the French and international political landscape.
The next major test for Macron will be France's legislative election in June, with Le Pen and others now fighting for a parliamentary majority. As Le Pen put it, the game is not quite over yet. Caryn Ceolin, CityNews.